Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another video. Thanks for choosing my channel. Today we're gonna do a nice waterfall scene. Lots of happy trees in the foreground. We're gonna try to create a good contrast in this painting. You will see the finished painting, a photograph of a finished painting up there. And you will see the list of colors to the left. Here to the right you see my palette. I'm going to start with a flat brush and some ultramarine blue and white, a mix of ultramarine blue and white. I'm going to also get some of that darker ultramarine blue. And we're going to come over here, drop a sky. And by the way, this is a canvas board, so I've taped it to the easel. So I'm going to start with a very light, very subdued blue. And I'm going to cover the canvas and just blend it in. Get a very soft blend. A bit maybe darker up here, just a touch of darker blue. Alright, now with a mop brush or a blender brush, I'm going to pick up some of that ultramarine blue. A bit darker than what we have over there. And we're going to go ahead, create impression of some distancy looking bushes, you know. We're going to give them some atmospheric effect. Maybe a bit darker. And this brush creates no texture. It's a very soft brush. So we're going to go ahead and just tap. And the key to push these bushes and trees way back in the distance and create like a misty look is to choose a color close to your sky and give them no details, no highlights. Now I add a little bit more ultramarine blue, darker value, and I'm going to create a bit darker, create another layer, as you see. We're gonna go ahead, just tap, just like that. We're painting impression of some trees in the distance. I'm going to pick up some gray, some of that ultramarine blue. We're going to make a grayish bluish color, and a filbert brush. I'm going to come here and create some impression of some trees. And just blend it with the rest of the landscape, just like that. And the rest is going to be covered by a tree in the foreground. Maybe two more, maybe one more in the distance, right there, I don't know. Two more in the distance. I'm going to pick up some Prussian blue, some of my ultramarine blue, a bit white. I'm going to mix in a very cool bluish color. And we're going to come over here and basically indicate few rocks over here that's going to be moss covered. It's going to be covered by moss and everything. They're going to be way in the distance. So I'm going to use the background color as blue, or the underpainting rather. And some more of that Prussian blue, maybe a darker value of that Prussian blue for the waterfall. Just underpainting of it at least. And some of my other lighter blue. And let's go ahead and cover this area. Now I'm going to pick up some green. This is light green, maybe a touch of that Prussian blue. And I'm gonna switch my brush probably. Pick up my mop brush. And I'm gonna come over here and just tap some lighter green over here. Some light green. I'm gonna pick up a mix of blue and white. And a flat brush. I'm gonna come up here and indicate my waterfall just by pulling down, just like that, with the corner of the brush. And maybe another one over here, dropping down. Don't kill all that background blue. Leave some in there. Get the excess paint off of your brush and just pull down some dry brush effect. I'm gonna switch gear over here. I'm gonna pick up a liner brush and some white. I'm gonna come up here and just apply some highlights to this waterfall, a few areas. Just like so. Just pull it down, soften it. And maybe just tap like that. Create some impression of, you know, water dropping. Alright, so this area is dry now. I'm going to pick up my mop brush, some white. Let's put it here. Not so much paint on the brush. I'm going to get the excess paint off of my brush. And I'm going to come over here and just tap, and in a circular fashion create some illusion of maybe mist right next to the waterfall. Some dry brush technique. Especially at the bottom, as the waterfall hits the basin, creates splashes and mist, something like that. You can and the mist is rising up over here. Just some dry brush technique. Alright. Yes, this is good enough. You know, I don't want to overdo it. Maybe over here we can come up a little bit. Maybe higher over here. Cover the base of those trees. I'm going to pick up some of that ultramarine blue. Maybe a touch of black. And I'm going to go ahead and start bringing some more, you know, some darker darker color in the foreground. Maybe around here as well, some rocks. A bit more of that ultramarine blue, a bit more black. Just dropping some underpainting, some dark for this area. And we're gonna have reflections here as well. I'm gonna pick up some gray. I'm gonna mix in with that blue that we have on the palette. Some black, some ultramarine blue, some of that gray. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some highlights to these rocks. Some darker value. Very impressionistically. Now with the same color, some ultramarine blue, some black, I'm gonna go ahead, drop 2 trees over here, evergreen trees. And maybe we put the first one over here. And this is a filbert brush that I'm using. If you're more comfortable using a fan brush, you can do that. A bit more blue. And maybe another one here. and some indication of some background vegetation, something blocking this area. I'm gonna go ahead, switch to my round brush. I'm gonna pick up some green. I'm gonna add a touch of blue to it. And I'm gonna come here, highlight these trees a bit. Maybe we add a touch of black to it too. These evergreen trees are often very dark in nature, so maybe I add a little bit darker green to the mix. Let's see what we get. Yeah, something like that. When you look at the evergreen trees in nature, they're often darker than other trees. So very randomly I'm gonna apply the highlights for these evergreen trees. They're growing into each other, maybe a bit black, even some darker green. For the bottom here. And some for this tree as well. Just like so. Now I'm gonna pick up some of that green. I'm gonna add some yellow to it. Make it very lighter green. And I'm gonna come here and drop some indication of moss growing on these rocks. These rocks are next to the water, a lot of humidity, and oftentimes you see moss growing on them. I don't want to cover the whole rocks, I want to show some of the rocks and soften it in a few areas. Just tapping with a mop brush. And soften it a bit. Get rid of hard edges. A bit more yellow. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this rock, maybe up here. Some moss growing. Maybe it's not covering the whole rock. like so. Just tap, and this brush creates a cool texture. And just remember to soften some of these hard edges. Alright, switching to a filbert brush, some black, some raw umber, essentially making some dark. I'm gonna go ahead, drop maybe a couple of trees over here, maybe a tree over there on this side, and maybe a touch of black to that, a little water, make that paint very runny. So we're going to come here and put an indication of a tree, maybe another one right next to it, coming this way. Maybe a bigger one over here. And maybe a branch over here to this tree, maybe one over here. I'm just gonna go ahead, block this area behind this tree. Some black, some green. I'm gonna go ahead and make a mix of a darker shade of that green, and I'm gonna come over here with a round brush, start dropping some indication of or impression of leaves for these trees. Some of these branches going to be covered. If you want to re-indicate them, we can go back after we done the tree and indicate few branches and here and there. And with this technique, if you like this technique, you know, painting trees, you gotta be a little bit patient and you gotta, you know, take your time. If you like using bigger brushes and do the stamping technique, that also works. That's up to you. Either or is okay. I do that also sometimes, you know, but I like to spend a little more time on these trees. They are in the foreground, you know, it's good to spend a little bit of time on them. That background that we dropped is just there to block the area. If I need to add more details in there, I will. I'll bring this a bit more to the right. Still working with the dark tone, just building up, some volume to these trees. I want some sky to show. We're gonna introduce some lighter green into the mix at this stage, and slowly we're gonna move to applying highlights. And continuing, moving away from mid-tone almost to some highlights, simultaneously. And just building up. As you see, the tree is starting to make a little more sense now. And I'm sorry if I can't show the whole process. Maybe we can do a video just on how to do a tree if you're interested in seeing more. But basically the technique is just same technique all over if I show you here, I have shown you really the whole thing, because I'm not going to change any brush stroke or anything like that, just building up. Making some more darker green, maybe a touch of that ultramarine blue, and bringing in underneath these leaves, maybe here and there. Maybe add some yellow into the mix. Some highlights here and there. I'm going to continue with the same colors. Drop few indications of maybe overgrown bushes over here next to this tree. Some blue and black. Create some shadow color. I'm going to create some vegetations here, some bushes. Make the area look busy. With a liner brush and some of that light green, I'm gonna go ahead few areas apply some final touch-ups and highlight, just like so. If you decide to do this at home, spend a bit more time on it. Always race against time in these paintings. You don't. So just spend a little more time on it. And if you don't like the technique, you could paint these trees the way you do. Now I'm gonna pick up my filbert brush. I'm gonna pick up some of that blue, the sky blue that we had. We need the green because we need to reflect all these greens into the water. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in some indication of water over here. Obviously, way in the distance, it's gonna be mostly white water, secondary to the waterfall. And as we move to the foreground, we're gonna reflect the green. Just make sure your water is level, straight line. You don't want to be tilted to one side. And this is where I'm gonna bring all those greens into the water. Maybe a darker green. You could paint the water first and then work on the reflection. It's up to you. I usually paint the water first and then bring in the reflection. And of course, white right in the middle. And I'm gonna take my mop brush, some white, and just go ahead, tap in this area. And fade it into the background, re-indicate some of this waterfall. I'm gonna bring some of that ultramarine blue, some black, and indicate some of the shadows for these rocks in here. Just like so. Now I'm gonna pick up my blender brush. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull over it, just like so. And in the distance, just tap and pull all these things into the water and soften all those hard edges. Just like so. I'm gonna pick up some white, some blue, a bit lighter value, and I'm gonna come over here, indicate few water lines next to these rocks and stuff. Like so. Just make sure they are level. Maybe with a mop brush, just soften a few, just like so. And with some green, some raw umber, maybe some yellow, make some greenish brownish color. I'm just gonna come over here and indicate few maybe overgrown weeds and stuff like that. Alright, so I'm happy with this area. I mean, it could be better, but you know, I'm happy with the overall overgrown weeds, the moss on the rocks. Maybe we can apply some more highlights here and there to this tree, maybe here and there. But I think at this stage I can go ahead and call this done, even though I can work on this a bit longer. And if you choose to do this painting at home, obviously, you know, spend a little bit more time on it, take your time, and I'm sure you can have a better outcome. Don't forget to like, share the videos if you want to support the channel, and I'm gonna see you guys hopefully soon with another painting. Take care and have fun.